what's going on, everybody? This is John Shea Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Gore High School Dynasty here on NCAA 14 and featuring an Oklahoma high school football mod as well. We are deep in the regular season. We are closing it on the final regular season games. We got a big one on our hands. We are hosting 9-1 Washington on our campus. This could very well be a preview of the 4A sectional championship game that's slated to happen in just a couple of weeks, and this Washington team is good. How they're not ranked in the top 25, I honestly have no idea, to tell you the truth, because 9-1 at this late in the season, you would think that would be good enough to actually go ahead and get yourself ranked in this top 25. Their only loss is to Mater Dei, and Mater Dei is obviously one of the better programs, not only in like this part of the country, they're not in Oklahoma, but you know, in this region of the country, general region, but they're one of the best high school programs in the country. So for Washington's only loss to be them, I mean, you gotta put some respect on Washington's name. But we are trying to play spoiler here, prevent them from entering the top 25, as this is absolutely going to be a big time matchup for us here today. So I hope you guys are excited for the whole thing, because man, I certainly am, man. This is going to be a fun game for us to play, and I hope you enjoy watching this game here today. With that being said, I hope you guys are strapped up and ready to go, because it's going to be a good one. Before we dive into it, make sure you go ahead, hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. Let's not waste any more time, and go ahead and send it down to the field. Let's go. So let's go ahead and dive into the action, as your Gore Pirates did end up deciding to defer to the second half. And one of the big keys of this game is we got to contain this quarterback running game, because Mater Contrell, he likes to run that ball, and it's a big reason why his dynamic performances have gotten Washington to their 9-1 record. This is not going to be easy. So they'll be in a 3rd and 1 because of that run by Mater Contrell, and they'll just dump it off to the tight end in Jordan Brown, where they will pick up an easy first down, as that will keep the drive going for the Washington Warriors, as this time they'll hand it up the gut to Jordan Wilmore. Jordan Wilmore will have his first carry go for a gain of 8, as it sets up yet another reasonable 3rd down situation. 3rd and 5 coming up as Cantrell drops back, looks over the middle, and finds Cage Morris on the slants, as that will be yet another first down for the Washington Warriors, as Mater Contrell is putting together a decent drive, one that could get a little bit better with Wilmore in open space, eventually brought down by Easton Lynn and Chase Henry, but not the drive that you want to see from our defense to start this game out, as Contrell will pitch it out to the outside again to Jordan Wilmore. He's been a major key to this very first possession of the ball game, as Washington is quickly evaporating what's left in this ball game, as we're already halfway done in the first quarter. We haven't seen the ball yet. Hopefully we would change that here on a 3rd and 6, but Porter Lindstrid could not get there to cut it off in time. So again, a brand new set of downs for the Washington Warriors. Just a demoralizing drive that we are going up against right now. Defense is still playing strong though, even though they've been on the field for this entire quarter so far. We'll see if we can force them to settle for a field goal here. 3rd and goal, it's from the 20-yard line after a couple of penalties, as Mater Cantrell will move a tight end over to the right. He's got some time, but it's going to be fumbled. Recovered by Thomas Holsky, and now the big boy is off to the races. No shot of taking it all the way. He didn't have that convoy that he was hoping for, but man, what a turnover. And oh, did we needed that. We needed that in the worst play. That was Jamie Fletcher that forced the fumble as well. So now the Gore Pirates will finally take over inside the 2-minute mark here in this first quarter. We'll see what we can do on the first drive, and we were gifted with some amazing field position. We got to talk about that real quick. as we'll go ahead and see our junior quarterback, Matt Gimatar, really get moving here. He's going to rush for a gain of 18 yards on the play, as that will indeed set up a goal line situation. Gimatar in the shotgun. He's going to set the drop back to pass. Looking around. It's got some time. He's going to try to run for it here, but Matt Gimatar is going to be just short of the goal line. And we're going to just go ahead and accept the points here. Jake Hills is going to settle for the field goal. And Jake Hills, our freshman kicker, he has just been absolutely money this year. He's going to lace that field goal through with ease. So now we'll have a 3-0 lead, as Washington will start their very next possession, as Major Cantrell will drop back. It's a play action, though, as it will be dumped off to Javon Bigelow for possibly one of the last plays of the first quarter, and it was. We have a 3-0 lead, and that's in spite of losing the turnover battle tremendously. So let's see if we can do a little bit better with that here in this second quarter, as Washington Warriors come out onto the field for this 3rd and 2. As Cantrell is going, no, it's going to be a handoff to Jordan Wilmore. Still was playing pretty reasonably well, but he still picks up a gain of 5. But can they build off of that momentum? They do face yet another 3rd and long, as Cantrell will have his guys in a 5-wide set. Looks over the middle of the Singletary, and Mason Singletary does pick up a decent chunk of yards, but it's not going to be enough. They will have to go ahead and punt this football away. And if I'm showing special teams, you already know something is about to go down. Dalton Barrettine set to return this punt, as Barrettine, he's going to bounce it out to the outside. He's got leverage, and now he's in the open field. Can he get around him? No! Oh, if Dalton Barrettine was just a little bit faster, he was going to be gone like a girl in a country song. We'll still have amazing field position, though. We'll start at about midfield to start this drive. We'll see if we can turn it into a touchdown this time around, as we'll hand it off to Vita St. Louis, as Vita St. Louis will pick up a gain of 14. For one of the first times we called for Vita St. Louis today. Maybe we need to get him a little bit more involved. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's give him another carry right here. He'll pick up a gain of 6 on the run. So, run game is starting to be established. So let's set up that play action. And oh, we had somebody open downfield. Couldn't get it to him because of the pressure, though. It was there. That was a potential touchdown that was thwarted by a good pass rush. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 4. We're going to try to run for this first down, and Vita St. Louis is going to pick it up for us. A gain of 6 on that particular run. So, new set of chains for the Gore Pirates, as they'll head back to that ground game. Vita St. Louis in open space. You see how that he's not the most athletic runner of the ball. He's just a straight bruiser. But, man, we could, if he only had some speed, that could have been a foot race for sure. Won't hurt us too badly, though, as we'll have a goal line situation anyways. Was Casey Shiverly with that 15-yard reception. And on that 1st and goal, we're going to hand it off to Mason Smith, the freshman fullback, the freshman custom. He finds the end zone for our first touchdown today. So a 10-0 lead for your Gore Pirates, as we're taking it to the Washington Warriors in spite of losing that time of possession battle right now. But this Washington team is 9-1 for a reason. And part of it's because Major Cantrell, well, he can throw some dots, man. He is a dot thrower. And we saw a special case of that right there. 10 toes down moving in full effect as well, as Cantrell will try to run it back on the ground, trying to set up the speed option, but Chase Henry was simply not fooled on that at all, as he's going to get his 3rd tackle of the loss for the day. So that will force a 2nd and long, as we'll see what Cantrell decides to do. He's going to run for it here. Cantrell in open space. Nearly he reaches that 1st down marker. He's going to be just short of the sticks. So again, another 3rd and short in a game where Washington has performed pretty well on 3rd down conversions. They're 4 for 6 so far. We'll see if we can stop them on 3rd down, and we will. Thomas Holsky was waiting on that read option and allowed Major Cantrell to go nowhere. And so Washington forced to punt this ball away, as we'll go back onto the field with 2:20 left to play in this first half. So let's see what we can do with possibly one of the last drives on the first half for us, as we'll try to set up a play action here on 2nd and 10. We had some success with it, just couldn't execute, and we couldn't execute that one either. Had Jake Durant down the sideline, but just couldn't get it to him. It only ends up being intercepted, so we are very happy that we still have the ball in our hands right now for this 3rd and 10, and Beef Wellington gets open down the middle. Just a beautiful job of attacking that center of the field, as that's Beef Wellington's first catch of the day. So now, inside 2 minutes here, as Matt Gimatar gets set to run another play. He's going to look down the middle of the field again and finds Beef Wellington again. Huge first down for the Gore Pirates as that goes for 52 yards. So now time becomes a factor, as we can run some clock if we really want to do that. Or we could just add some points onto the board right away. Don't play with your food. You got a chance to go for the kill, they say. And so we'll get another touchdown because of that. And it turns out we'll actually get another chance at the football here with a minute left to play in the first half, as Washington is going to go 3 and out yet again. So Dalton Barrettine will be back to receive the punt. Dalton Barrettine again trying to use that leverage to get to the outside. Not his best return today, but still a really good one. As you take the prolific offensive breakdown, Gore has literally outplayed Washington here in this second quarter of action. Let's see if we can put some icing on the cake here as we start our drive inside the 45-yard line. It's going to start by throwing it out to Jackson Durant. Jackson Durant's going to pick up a gain of 16 on the throw. And right away, we're going to go into our no huddle here. Gimatar in the shotguns, looking for Vita St. Louis possibly, who's going to throw over the middle. It's going to get Vita St. Louis after all. And it's another 1st and 10 for the Gore Pirates. We still have 3 of our timeouts to work with as well. But it's Washington that's actually using the timeouts, surprisingly. Just their head coach does not like what he is seeing out there on the sideline and just wants to get his guys relaxed. 1st and goal coming up, though, as Gimatar all day to throw, but instead is going to run for it and gets there. Touchdown, Pirates! Matt Gimatar is going to put Gore in a convincing and dominating position right now. We will be indeed taking a 24-0 lead going into that second half of action. So let's see if we can keep it up here in the second half, as we actually start with the football to begin the second half of action. And why not a little bit of play action to be spicy to get things going, as we're going to throw down the right-hand side for Jake Durant. Just picking up where we left off offensively, picking up some good chunk plays. As we'll go ahead and run the counter with Vita St. Louis, and Vita St. Louis gets upfield. He'll pick up yet another 1st down as well. He's been silently having a good day, averaging over 5 yards a carry. And that's what Vita St. Louis is known for. He's not someone that is going to break the big run unless it's off of an option, but he's always seems to be good for 5 to 6 yards and moves to change. Just a systematically good football player. Really like what he does for how we want to execute our game plans, right? But Matt Gimatar has having himself a day. He's starting to heat up here a little bit. Threw that one a little bit late, though, to Jake Durant. Also had triangle open, which I'm sure I'm going to be flamed about in the comments section. But we still have the ball at least, so we can still have an opportunity to add points onto the scoreboard. We just got to pick up 1 yard to keep this drive alive. 3rd and short. We haven't been in many 3rd downs today, but we've been really good at them. 2 for 3. Make that 3 for 4. Almost have ourselves a full Wendy's value meal with those 3rd down conversions. And you know what? We're going to need another one. Another 3rd down coming up. Gimatar in the shotgun, looking over the middle. Throws it to where only his guy can catch it. But Casey Shiverly just could not reach that ball. And so Jake Hills is going to have to come out for another field goal. It's good. But we do get a studio update, though. And Hall, the number 10 team in Oklahoma, they could be on upset alert. And we also get an update within our conference as well. So with that being said, we now return to the action on the field, where we have a 27-0 lead. as Kentrell will drop back the pass, looks over to right inside. It's intercepted. The sophomore sensation, Porter Lindstrom, down the sideline, and he is gone. Like a girl in a country song, that is a touchdown for your Gore Pirates. And it's off of a pick six as well. Porter Lindstrom, first interception of the season. He's not messing around either. So now a 34-0 lead all of a sudden. As now we'll see how Washington recovers after that. As honestly, I probably could have played that better. I used Dalton Barrettine there. Probably could have played that a lot better but I didn't recognize the corner route right away. So instead, it's going to be a 1st and 10 as they'll go over to the right-hand side. And Mason Singletary will make the catch for the Warriors to pick up the first down, as they will now be across midfield as well. We'll see if they can finally get on this scoreboard. It has truly been a struggle for this Washington team. I am shocked that we have blown out Washington the way that we've had so far. The Washington Warriors will now face a 3rd and 5 as Kentrell is going to try to run for it on the halfback draw, but Thomas Holsky closes the hole that was initially established, and Wilmore has nowhere to go. So another punt for Washington, and we're in a spot to possibly cause a 40-piece. Gimitar drops back to pass, looks over to the right-hand side, and finds Casey Shiverly for the first down. He's got a couple of nice catches today, but we have a dominant lead, so let's get this run game going a little bit more. And Carlo Durant is probably one of the better backups in Oklahoma State football right now. I mean, that is a good run for somebody that is not used to getting the lion's share of the carries. Vita St. Louis, however, is used to that, and he can break off some nice runs as well. So already at midfield, as we'll throw the quick little slants pattern on the 2nd and 9, as Jackson Durant will pick up yet another first down for us. And this play we haven't called very often, but oh baby, did we run this to perfection. Vita St. Louis down the sideline, and oh, he's caught from behind. A faster person probably would have scored on that, but that was beautiful play design by Josh McCown. And that means we will have a goal line opportunity. Gimitar dropping back, looking for someone to get open. He does at the last second. It's Jody Gentry on the run. And that's going to do it here, guys. Gore is going to win in dominating fashion, 51-7. A game so nice that, hey, we're even able to get the backups in and get them some valuable playing time, as they'll be expected to start in the future. Hey man, so an overall great day, and it's always an amazing one whenever you're able to comfortably put those backups into the game. Matt Gimitar, listen, everyone had a good game it seemed like, but starting with our passers, Matt Gimitar, he was feeling himself here, 12 for 17, 226 yards, and a touchdown. Derek Davis got into the game as well and wasn't too shabby, took care of the football in the final quarter of play. Now for runners, the runners were able to find the end zone plenty of times in this one. Vita St. Louis was able to get a touchdown in this game. Matt Gimitar, he ended up with a rushing touchdown as well. Jason McCoy, our backup fullback, we don't see him very often, but during that 4th quarter of action, he was able to take one 50 yards in the Super Sim, so you love to see that. And then Mason Smith, he was able to find the end zone off of a fullback dive when the game was just a little bit closer. Now for the receivers, we spread out the ball pretty well in this one. Shout out to Jody Gentry though, he was the one that did end up finding the end zone. He also had the most catches for us today, 3 catches, 29 yards. But the biggest day was for Beef Wellington. Beef Wellington had 2 big receptions in this game, 2 catches, 75 yards. Beef Wellington was not coverable. He burnt this defense. As the kids would say, he cooked them. As for our defense, the defense was able to really shut them down. Big reason why we were able to get the backups in so early, pitching a shutout until we got the backups in the game. Easton Lynn led the team in tackles with 9 solo tackles, 3 TFLs. Quadir Johnson was balling out as well. He had 8 total tackles in the game. we also did a solid job of getting to this quarterback as well. Jamie Fletcher, he was able to get a sack in this ball game, and Juju Klassen, he was able to get onto the field. Haven't really said his name much this year as a backup rotational player, but Juju made his presence felt in that fourth quarter, able to get this sack. Plus, turnovers were forced today. Porter Lindstrid, he had a pick six. I mean, that's the biggest one. Always find a way to make plays, even though he isn't always being seen on that score sheet. He only had one solo tackle all day long. Jamie Fletcher, however, he got the forced fumble that was indeed recovered by the sophomore and Thomas Holsky, and he took it a pretty wholesome distance, able to get 30 yards off of that. Now, real quick, I don't talk about our blockers very often, but I want to shout out our backup offensive line. No, in that fourth quarter, they were playing extremely hard. Ajax Klassen, who was one of the best freshmen that we have on varsity right now, in his limited playing time, he got a pancake. He will eventually take over at that starting position. And then also Devin Anderson and Henry Stanley, also able to get pancakes as well. Our offensive line helping to build that pancake house. So the last game of the season that we actually had was against Cassia Hall. Now, we were actually able to play Cassia Hall because that was an issue in year number one. Didn't know if it's something with Cassia Hall's field or what was going on with that. But last game of the season, we're taking on Cassia Hall, and you take a look at their stats real quick for the season offensive yardage per game. These boys suck. These boys definitely suck. They are 1-10 for a reason. I think they actually just won their first game of the season just while we were blowing the doors off of Washington. And first drive just seems very evident, just handling our business, trying to prove that we need to be ranked because somehow we still aren't ranked in the top 25, and that's not going to help our case at all. I mean, we had a beautiful first drive against this Crusaders team, and we turned the ball over. We fumble it in the red zone. Just simply unacceptable stuff, but good news for us is that this is not going to be our only red zone opportunity that we're going to have on the day. And when we got into that red zone again, man, we're going to take advantage. Casey Siverly is going to find the end zone for us, so he's going to get a touchdown there. First completion, by the way, for Derek Davis. Matt Gimentar got hurt. I don't know if he's going to be hurt for the whole game or if it's just like for a quarter or so. But for now, Derek Davis is in the game and actually is doing pretty well stepping in for Matt Gimentar. The also junior quarterback, he'll get a second total touchdown of the day, running it up the gut in the read option. Nobody even going with him. Nobody on that screen until the safeties got there. And by then, the safeties getting there, it was just too late, right? So, second half is here. We are up 14-3 as Cassia Hall was able to get a field goal late in that first half of action. And then that fourth quarter, just getting it in down by that goal line. And we're just going to let our offensive line take over. A very underrated offensive line, in my opinion, as Via St. Louis will be able to find the end zone on this one. So, good win for us. We win 28-3, and we did all of that with a backup quarterback. Matt Gimentar did not end up returning in the game, and we only saw Matt Gimentar really play for one drive. But in that one drive, Matt Gimentar was efficient. 6 for 6, 60 yards, no touchdowns or anything like that. Derek Davis was even better. 9 for 11 for 126 and a touchdown. So, Derek Davis, for all intents purposes, he handled his business. He kept us afloat. He can win us a game in a spot if we needed to. Running the ball, however, was helping us out. Derek Davis had a nice dual threat day. Via St. Louis had over 140 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns as well. But Jake Durant got a lot of attention through the air, though. He led the team in catches and yards today. 6 catches for 62 yards, with Casey Shiverly finding the end zone as well. He had 4 catches for 33 yards on this one. Nothing really noteworthy for the blocking, but defensively, Quadir Johnson actually led the team in tackles today. And while we didn't force any turnovers, it was a foundationally good day, only allowing a field goal in this one. But there was, in fact, a good reason why you saw Derek Davis for the rest of that game, and it was because Matt Gimitar suffered a very serious injury. That abdominal tear that he had is going to hold him out for another 6 weeks. So, biggest game of the season coming up in our next episode, we will not have our starting quarterback in that district championship matchup. A huge loss for our team. We're also going to be a little bit short-handed at wide receiver as Jackson Durant is still not at 100%. He has a torn pectoral he's been playing through. Not the same player that we're typically used to having. And we'll see if Jackson Durant can get her done for us in arguably our biggest game here in the entire series. But greatness awaits us in District Championship weekend as we know who we're going up against. We are going up against the number 17 team in the entire country. We are taking on Edmond Santa Fe, and just taking a quick look, this team is a very good football team. They will push us, but we're not afraid of anybody. Hopefully, we can bring that type of energy in the next episode where we have our district championship game, trying to prove to the state of Oklahoma that we are no fluke. That 9-3 record that you see, we've earned it through and through. So, here's to hopefully a good district championship game in the next episode, but I will save that for next time. If you enjoyed this doubleheader ending our regular season, though, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a big favor. Smack that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you guys are out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.